So it's a fairly big project, really. I guess if you were go back to day one before the first child was ever filmed, this idea and the enormity of places you have to do and things you have to organise and things you have to find, when you now look back at almost the end of it, how do you feel about the difference between starting and almost finishing and looking back?
Well, it has been quite an unfolding event, meaning, so I got a clearer picture of the scope of the project between the second and third child. Before that, I was not so sure how it was going to be, what kind of questions to set, how was going to be the format. But after being with the first two children, something like a sense of responsibility began to appear on me. And then now, even though there are only two more to go, I just wish to find ourselves in Mexico making the editing. Also, we are a bit tired of so much movement, so we want to have a more settling time, a security of next day and next week and next month, working on it. So we are in a way wishing to finish this, and even though there are only two left, they seem to be like, still the last airport.
Interesting. So what do your families and friends think about this journey you've started?
Well, personally I think that having us traveling around the world now, it's sort of an achievement they get to themselves as well. Like they wish they could be traveling with us. And maybe
I guess it must seem very exotic for them.
Yeah, of course. And also it is a nice experience for them to realize that life is not just about working and making money, and it is about following dreams also. So it is kind of having them in the pocket with their wishes, in our backpacks with us, because not just our friends back in Mexico and our family back in Mexico, but the people we know in our way. It's like every country we go and every people we meet is like putting magic in our backpack, because they wish with us the well-being of the project and our well-being as well. So it is like having loads of people in our backpack as well.
I would imagine each day is not necessarily, though, a lot of fun and so forth. I imagine there must be times when you pull your hair out or you're very down on maybe the difficulties and maybe the opportunity that you now have to fulfill. How do you manage that? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's a learning experience also. To travel this long, this far, with such a limited budget, encourage people to go back to the basics. You know, what is really basic, what is this all about, and then things one takes for granted, one notices that they are not, and then in consequence it's obvious that the recognition of it and the awareness and the gratefulness for it is much bigger than when one is not in this kind of circumstance. So it's a learning experience. It's a nice way of also of sensing the values, you know, the social values, the moral values one is inheriting by putting some situations to the limit, you know, and then by solving all these situations one way or another, and noticing often that what is really important, you know, and also it gives a lot of time to think about and ponder about all those and philosophizing about all those issues.
So as husband and wife, right, so how long have you now been travelling for together?
We've been travelling together maybe 9 months.
Yeah.
So
Since we left Denmark. 9 months.
So for 9 months you have not been able to get away from each other?
No, that's all.
Have you?
It's been 24/7.
Yeah.
So for a lot of married couples, for a lot of them, they could never imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it might get difficult, but I think it is as any marriage, because from the very beginning of our relationship we decided that it was going to be a commitment of having to spend many of our time together. And it's been 24/7 since the very beginning also, not just in the trip. But I think what helps is that we communicate very well to each other, and that we enjoy each other's company very much, and the engagement we have to the project. So it's not been easy all the time, but it's been experience for our relationship. The founding of our relationship is I can just not make a tantrum and just going away because the conditions won't allow it.
You have to deal with the emotional energy.
Yeah. The situation won't allow me to go and complain and just tantrum and blah blah blah. So you have to deal with the things you have to deal, because that's life like. So it's not been all the time a pink cloud, but it's been pretty rewarding in terms of our relationship as well. Yeah, to get to know so deep and profound the other one. You don't get surprises then, because you get to know pretty well.
So you have found, in terms of the project, your natural interests and skills fall into sort of natural areas that start to complement each other.
Yeah. It also that helps very much. That what I do, I enjoy very much what he's doing. Also seeing him working, and I think we complement each other in the perspective we professionally have of the project and of life.
So Juan Carlos, as a man, are you always having to be right and making the decisions?
No. I don't think we are living in a relationship where might makes right. No, I think reason makes right, and even that sometimes feelings also make right. So we don't have a clear combination of what makes right.
So it must be a good relief for you. You have someone else who can make the decision when you don't want to have to make it.
Yes.
So where can people find out more information about your project and maybe support you? So you've got a blog site.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can put that on the end of this video.
Yeah.
So how else can they find out about what you're doing and follow and interest and understand the project more?
So basically by entering this blog, 12transitionage.blogspot.com, and then there is a story from the beginning how we got together and decided to make this project. And then one can also there see photos and slideshows and stories of the children we have been so far contacting.
And the contact with people will be evolving. As we can see, many ideas are coming, and we are catching up with the internet skills and tools that the internet offer us. So the main way now is a blog, but we will be developing.
And so eventually people will be able to maybe buy some products and different things centered around what you made.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. I see we have to now catch a bus and get you to the other end of the island.
Yeah.
So let's do that now, and people can follow you on your blog site. Thank you very much.